Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Interlude Reacts. Oh my god, we're here and we're ready. Today we are reacting to top 10 movie mistakes that the directors kept in because the acting was just way too good, mate.
Just
too good. Do you know what I'm hoping to see? I'm hoping to see a bit of Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained. He does a bit. I don't know if it's going to be in it, but it's my favourite one. He smashes a table, brilliant bit of acting, but he smashes a glass and slice open his hands with the glass, and he's like bleeding, but he carries on, and he like wipes the blood on someone's, like a woman's face, like he plays on it. Wow, that's sick. I want to see that. If that's not in it, I'll be unhappy. But hey, let's get into it.
Now, some of history's greatest achievements were actually made by accident, and the same principle can be applied to the world of film, as several iconic scenes from even more iconic movies contain big old whoopsies. Now, we've already covered 10 of them, but it turns out that there were so many gaffes left in the final cut that there was more than enough room for a whole new list. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is rockcoach.com, and these are 10 more movie mistakes directors refused to fix because the acting was too good.
How many is there? Like 3?
Number 10. Jane Russell takes a dip. Gentlemen prefer blondes.
Okay.
From 1953 comes Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, a movie musical starring Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell. Now, if you've never heard of it, then you've at least heard of its most famous song, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. If you haven't, then quite frankly, what are you doing with your life? Whilst Monroe has obviously gone on to achieve megastar status, at the time it was Russell who was the more accomplished actor. And she lived up to her status as an icon when a scene by a swimming pool went horribly and hilariously wrong. The closing sequence for the number, Ain't There Anyone Here for Love, involved several muscular men in tiny trunks leaping over Russell as she sat by the edge of a pool. Unfortunately for her, one of these hunks was a little too beefy and clipped her in the back of her head with his leg and sent her crashing into the pool. Because Russell was an absolute pro, though, she carried on and managed to finish the song. The blunder fits her character perfectly and is probably the best bit of the entire
Jesus
scene.
Christ.
Number 9. Ben Stiller forgets a line. Zoolander. Derek Zoolander, the character played by Ben Stiller in the 2001 comedy, is an idiot. That is his whole deal. He's a male model with, according to the movie's poster, 3% body fat and 1% brain activity. The numbers, they don't lie. Stiller managed to incorporate a moment of real-life ditziness into his performance as well when he forgot a line during filming. During a scene where David Duchovny's character reveals that all male models are actually trained assassins, Zoolander asks, "But why male models?" This, regardless of the fact that he just asked the same question just a few moments earlier. Stiller went totally blank and so said the only line of dialogue that he could remember. Luckily, it fit the character's dumb persona to a T, and everybody on set went with it. We're not sure what the original follow-up line was meant to be, but we're doubtful that it would have been any better than what we got. Stiller's comic timing is perfect here, which is even more impressive when you consider that his brain was in panic mode whilst he was filming it. Number 8. Idris Elba punches Chris Pine. Star Trek Beyond.
Because I can.
Now, here's a tip for you. Maybe don't damage one of the most valuable faces in Hollywood if you can help it. We're looking at you, Idris Elba, in 2016's Star Trek Beyond. The third installment in the so-called Kelvin timeline of Trek, Beyond sees Pine's Captain Kirk and the crew of the Enterprise attempt a rescue mission after receiving a signal from a drifting escape pod. Psych! It was actually a trap set up by the evil Krall, idiots. Krall, Elba's character, eventually gets into a scrap with Kirk during the film's dramatic climax, and things got a lot more dramatic when, whilst filming the scene, Elba accidentally clobbered Pine for real. The errant punch left Pine with a nice little black eye to remember his buddy Idris by. However, because he's a good actor, Pine carried on with the scene despite the fact that he'd just been battered by DCI Luther. Now, fight sequences are tricky to get right. They have to toe the line between being realistic and actually being safe, something Elba failed to do on this one occasion. No hate for the big man, though, because he is a legend.
Where is
Number 7. Tatum versus a mirror. Foxcatcher.
It's going to be one where he just talks, doesn't actually show the scene.
Foxcatcher is a drama about wrestling. Now, before you get too excited, this is Olympic wrestling we're talking about. There's no choke slams or chair shots in this film. Sorry about that. But that doesn't diminish the drama, though, as the story is about the series of events that led to the murder of one US wrestling hopeful, David Schultz, in 1996. Throw in a bunch of testosterone-fueled fighters, and you've got a recipe for a very volatile situation. Here, Channing Tatum plays David's brother Mark, a key figure in the story, and clearly the adrenaline of the plot got to the star because he went absolutely ham on a mirror during filming. Tatum had already punched himself in the face several times in a scene where his character was pumping himself up, but took things to the next level when he headbutted a mirror. Then he headbutted it again and again. These force attacks not only broke the mirror and the drywall behind it, but also sliced open Tatum's head. It was bloody effective, though, so effective in fact that the scene even made it into the movie's trailer. But it does feel weird to praise a man for mutilating himself, though. Number 6, Williams' shrimp slip-up, the birdcage. Deciding to
so much
cast
worse,
Robin
to be
Williams
fair.
as the most serious character in your movie might seem like a pretty strange idea on paper, but it definitely paid off in the 1996 comedy The Birdcage. The Birdcage is about a gay man, played by Williams, who pretends to be straight in order to impress the ultra-conservative parents of his prospective daughter-in-law. The only problem is that he owns a drag club in San Francisco. The movie is stuffed with really funny moments, one of which was actually completely unintentional. As the meeting between the two families slowly falls apart, Williams' character is horrified to learn that the big meal that he had planned has gone awry. He scolds his housekeeper Agador for messing up, as well as his son Val for failing to stay calm. But in the middle of his tirade, Williams slipped on the floor by mistake and got right back up and carried on. This fall fit in perfectly with the chaos of the scene and serves to punctuate the tension of the bit of comedy. The fact that you can tell the other actors are trying really hard not to corpse makes the whole thing even better. Number 5, Kevin Nash gets stabbed. The Punisher. Back to wrestling now, and this time we are actually talking about the WWE style stuff. Oh right, Kevin Nash, also known as Diesel during his in-ring days, has had a nice little film career in between stints in the Squared Circle. He's been in Magic Mike, Rock of Ages, and John Wick, and he even played Super Shredder in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Living the dream, I tell ya. Nash also rocked up in The Punisher, a pre-MCU Marvel movie based on the character of the same name. The titular hero, played by Thomas Jane, finds himself fighting off against a giant man who kind of looks like he's doing a Where's Wally cosplay named The Russian. That is our Kev. Unfortunately, one of the stunt coordinators forgot to swap out the knives used in the scene, so Jane was actually armed with a real blade during his fake fight with Nash. This resulted in the actor actually stabbing the former wrestler in the collarbone, much to both men's horror. But what's a little stabbing when you're used to getting beaten up for a living, eh? Well, Nash clearly thought the same, as he just got right on with the rest of the sequence.
There's
Kevin
no
Nash, I tell you, he's one scary dude. Number 4, gymnastics gone wrong.
What?
Blade Runner.
I wouldn't carry on.
Mentioned something
I'd be like,
to someone
ow.
and then gone on to regret it? Well,
What
that's
the hell?
exactly what happened to Daryl Hannah when she mentioned to director Ridley Scott that she was a former gymnast. This led to her performing her own stunts as Pris, an acrobatic replicant in the world of Blade Runner. In a scene where Pris is being pursued by JF Sebastian, Hannah used her abilities to make the scene look more realistic, but she actually overachieved on this, accidentally smashing elbow first into a car window when she messed up a stunt. This meeting of bone and glass did not exactly end well for the organic side of the equation, as Hannah chipped her elbow in 8 different places. Unfortunately for her, she was playing an unfeeling robot, and unfeeling robots don't get to cry when they hurt themselves. Hannah valiantly carried on with the rest of the scene, no doubt in excruciating pain. The window break take
I do respect it when they carry on.
cut, glass smashing sound effect and all. Actually, we shouldn't really even say final cut, seeing as there's been about 2,000 final cuts of Blade Runner, and there'll probably be 2,000 more by the time this video comes out. Number 3, Fred Fenster farts. The Usual Suspects. Look, you can pretend to enjoy the more sophisticated things in life as much as you want to, but there's no denying that farts are funny. Nowhere is this better exemplified than in the famous lineup scene from 1995's The Usual Suspects. The scene was supposed to be played straight, with each member of the row stepping forward and saying their lines in a conventional manner. However, when you get 5 actors with big personalities in a room together, well, they're bound to muck about. The group kept on making each other laugh, to the point where it was decided that the scene would be done with a comedic tinge. And one of the reasons they kept laughing was because of Benicio del Toro's inability to hold in gas. According to the reports from the set, the Puerto Rican actor broke wind about a dozen times during various takes of the scene, to varying degrees of hilarity from his co-stars. That's why when his character Fred Fenster steps forward to do his lines, the rest of the suspects start tittering. And it's a scene that is definitely even funnier in hindsight. Number 2, Star-Lord drops the orb. Guardians of the Galaxy.
I remember this.
He may be a Guardian of the Galaxy, but Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, is also a goofball of the galaxy. Quill's blumbling pseudo-macho persona is what endeared him to a lot of fans in his first appearance back in 2014. Played by the versatile Chris Pratt, the half-celestial is as famous for his slip-ups as he is his heroics. And perhaps this is best shown during a scene where the Guardians drop off the mysterious orb to the Collector on nowhere. As he's about to hand over the sphere, Star-Lord fumbles it, nearly letting it hit the ground before catching it. It was a great moment, fitting in rather nicely with the comedy this movie is known for, but it was also not meant to happen. Pratt legitimately dropped the orb during this scene, but kept in character and played it off as intentional. It's a fantastic piece of improv from the actor, and it shows that he really understood the assignment when it came to Star-Lord. And if you're wondering what caused him to nearly drop the orb, well, the Collector was played by Benicio del Toro, so maybe it was just another fart. And number 1, the Stormtrooper head bump. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
I've seen this one.
An extra in a
don't know
big
how this
white
got
helmet
kept
misjudged
in.
the height of a door and banged his head in it whilst walking forward. That is it. That's the goof. And yet this moment has lived on in cinema history since the late 1970s.
Did you not see it at the beginning?
Star Wars movie, a group of
First clip, they
stormtroopers are
showed it.
searching for Luke Skywalker's
might
party
show
of
it again.
infiltrators aboard the Death Star. The door opens
Yeah, look.
vertically, the
The guy on the
troopers
right.
walk in, and the
Bow.
iconic bump takes place. At the time, fans probably thought nothing of it. They probably didn't even notice because the actor playing the trooper carried on so brilliantly. But over time, as more and more people noticed the smack, this moment has gained a life of its own. Unidentified head-bumping stormtrooper, as he's become known, is a meme-loving Star Wars fan's dream come true. Even George Lucas is a fan, adding in a special bonk sound effect to remastered editions of the movie so that you definitely notice it. Though a few different people have claimed to be the trooper, his real identity will likely never be known. And this is a crying shame, as we all owe a great debt to this actor and their poor
It's like a
vision.
double hit.
Is it just
There we
that's
go,
all?
my friends. Those were 10 more movie mistakes that directors
weird that the door
refused to
doesn't
fix
open the whole
because
way.
The acting was too good. I
Yeah,
hope
it's
that you
just
enjoyed
fucking
that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below.
I got robbed of my Leonardo DiCaprio moment.
True.
That was top 10 movie mistakes that directors kept in. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment down below more videos you want us to react to, because we know you love doing that. And we'll see you in the next one.
Adios.
Bye.